Welcome to the Nothing Much Just Chillin' Show with your hosts Emma and Julio. Nothing much, just chillin' show. Nothing much, just a chillin'.
Welcome back to NMJC, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Emma, and as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, this is a different setup here. I thought it's a nice day. I'm not filming this at night, so might as well just film in our living room, even though it's kind of messy in the background, but whatever, it's fine. But how are you guys doing? Thanks for asking. I'm doing good. I'm doing really, really good. I had a good week hosting my friend Lexi. She was here from Monday to Thursday, staying with us, and it was just really nice to have her. We get along really great. We're very similar. Her birthday is right before mine. It's March 4th, so we're very similar people in the way that we're Pisces and just, I don't know, girls. No, that's not our only similarities. We're both vegan, and yeah, it was just nice to spend time with her. We had a really fun week. We saw Nessa Barrett, went to her concert on Tuesday, which was really nice. Love Nessa Barrett. As I said on a previous episode, I met her and she was so sweet. Yeah, I just adore her and her music, so it was really cool going to her concert. And then we went to a comedy show. We actually worked a comedy show. She took photos and I took video, and it was really cool because one of my favorite internet people is already is a stand-up comedian now that he's done it, I think 9-10 times now. I don't know. I'm talking about Connor Wood. He's Fibula on TikTok. If you don't know him, he's so funny, and his podcast he has with Brooke Averick, Brooke and Connor Make a Podcast, is actually my favorite podcast in the world. I love it. Well, actually, I should say Circle Time, Kelsey's podcast, is my favorite podcast in the world, but nonetheless, I love Brooke and Connor Make a Podcast. But yeah, so he was performing. I actually saw his very first stand-up show ever. It was a couple months ago at the Improv at the Lab. The Improv has like the main room, and then it has the Lab, the smaller room. And so he was performing there. So I got to talk to him. And yeah, I didn't get to talk to him at this past show this week because I think he kind of dipped out right when it ended, and I was like working. So I was like, breaking down my equipment and stuff, but I did talk to his managers. Fingers crossed that leads to anything. But yeah, he was the best one at this comedy show. He killed. And then I saw him the next night at the Lab again, which was also a great show. Actually, every single comedian in that show was insane. So if you're ever in LA, I would definitely suggest going to the Improv for a show at the main room or the Lab. We actually have tickets next week on Wednesday to see Sahib Singh at the Improv. I'm so fucking excited. I met him when I was a freshman in college. I visited my friend Vivek at UMBC, and he was like, "Oh, you have to meet my friend." And I was like, "Okay, cool." But the caveat to this friend was that he was like roommates with my ex-boyfriend, and I was like, I really don't want to see my first ex-boyfriend, so not like fresh ex-boyfriend, but like long time ago ex, but I like just really didn't want to see him. And he was like there for a second, but then he left, thank God. I do not care for that guy. I miss his mom though. His mom's so fucking nice. Anyways, I went to this guy's room, and I don't even remember like the conversations we had or like what we said or anything like that. I just remember walking out of that room because we left because we were gonna get food or something. I just remember walking out and being like, that was the funniest person I've ever met in my life. And now he's a fucking successful stand-up comedian, has his own show, gonna have his own show at the Improv next week that I'm gonna go to. And I'm just sorry for all this dust flying. But I'm so fucking excited to see him. Like, that's just so cool that like he is from like where I'm from. He's from Baltimore, and yeah, he's really fucking, he's making it, he's doing it. I think he's opening for Hassan Minaj too on his tour, and yeah, he's so hilarious. If you have not seen him on TikTok or Instagram, go look up Sahib Singh. You're gonna love him. Anyways, to wrap up, my time with Lexi was really good, and then the next day, or when she left on Thursday, I had so much to do. I had so much work to get done. I had podcasts to edit. I had a proposal shoot which went really well. I'm really excited about that. And then we went to the Improv to go to Connor's show. And then Friday, Julio and I we chilled. We went on a long walk, as we do, and then we went to see Scream 6, I believe, with Jenna Ortega, and it was really good. Like, I recommend seeing it, especially if you have AMC Moving Pass like we do, the A-list stubs thing. I don't know, there's like 5 different names for this fucking pass, but yeah, I would recommend going to see it. It was really good, but also I did close my eyes for every killing, so I wouldn't get traumatized. One thing about me is I hate violence. I love being violent in my head. I'm like, oh, I'll fucking kill them, I'll fucking cut a bitch, but I'm not violent. I'm not a violent person. I have a himsa tattooed on me. Just peaceful towards all beings, I just close my eyes for those parts, but like the story behind it and the whatever, it was a good movie. It wasn't like the best thing ever, but it was a good movie. And today's Sunday. It's a lovely day. I'm so glad that we're done, hopefully, knock on wood, done with the rain. I think, I don't know, but it's a lovely day here, and it was a lovely day yesterday, and it was a lovely day Friday, and it was a lovely day Thursday. So we're on a 4-day streak here in Los Angeles, so I'm happy about that. But what I wanted to talk to today was about social media, and I just recorded my podcast about Love Island and just kind of shared like my thoughts on like some drama and like the Final Four and like stuff like that. Oh, one thing that I did forget to mention, I loved everybody's dress for the final day in the villa, except for Lana's. That like black and the neon pink, I hated that. Did not say that in the Love Island episode, but I'm saying that now. I hated that dress, but I loved everybody else's. I don't know why they gave her such a awful dress and they gave everybody else such a nice one. They really were trying to do her dirty. But yeah, so I just recorded that, but I didn't say anything about the reality that all the contestants, the people who went through it, had to face when they get out. And they all now are set up with this like welfare team where you come out of the villa and you have this whole like team of like, I don't know, wellness people, like therapists and stuff, that let you know like the things that people are saying about you, like good and bad, so that you're just prepared for like the hate that you're gonna get. And I think that's really smart of them to do, because, in the past there's been people who get a lot of hate and then they end up just with really bad like mental illness problems, depression, anxiety, and sometimes it's led to really, really unfortunate incidents. And I don't want to see that happen to anybody ever again. And even if I hate somebody, hate is a strong word, it's Love Island, but like if I don't like somebody on the show, like I would never go to their page and start being mean and like being like, I hate you on the show, like blah blah, why'd you do this, like you're such an immature like little bit, like I would never like comment something that on anybody's page. I don't think I ever have. And I think that people that do that are just, it's like low life behavior, it's jobless behavior. Yeah, I just don't get why people hate online or bully people online. It just makes no sense. Actually, like, go touch grass, please. Like, you are chronically online if you are getting mad at like every single thing, or if you're following people like just to hate on them. Like, it just doesn't make sense, and I never will make sense of it, because I just personally have never done that. And I personally haven't gotten any hate, but even if I did, like even, on the viral video that I had on TikTok of like the vegan burrito or whatever, I got a lot of like vegan hate comments, but I never gave energy back to them. And that's what I've learned too with working with people in the influencer social media space, is that it looks really, really bad if you have like 75 like positive comments and then you have one negative comment and you only respond to the negative comment and didn't even like or acknowledge any of the nice comments. Like, that looks really bad. It's defensive, which isn't like a good trait to have. And it makes people not want to like support you if you're only giving energy back to your haters. Like, you should just pour your energy into the people that love you and the people that support you, and not give any time or energy to your haters, because that's what they want. You're giving them attention, which is what they want. They'll stop if you don't give them attention, basically, because it will just get old, So yeah, social media can be detrimental in that way. And I think what we're seeing right now with this like TikTok trial is people advocating for social media and for the TikTok CEO. Oh my God, my For You page. It was so funny the other day because I would just be on live, like watching the trial of, what's his name? Shou Chew, I think, the TikTok CEO. Like he was testifying before Congress. So I would be watching the live stream of that. And then I would scroll and then there would just be like thirst trap after thirst trap after thirst trap of this man, of the TikTok CEO, because people are just in love with him. Like, he's so likable. He was so patient with Congress, even though they were asking him like the most annoying questions, like how does Wi-Fi work. Like, it was really scary that these people are in charge of our country. Honestly, like the actual like seriousness of it is just like, so, oh my God, Julio has just come back from a haircut and he looks so cute. Aww. Come here. Even if it's floppy. Julio says his haircut isn't ready to be shown yet because it's too floppy. But it's cute. Aww. I love it. Oh my God, it looks so good. Wow, they did a good job. Okay, what was I saying? Thirst traps of Shou Chew. With this trial, I think it really brings up the argument of like the pros and cons of social media. Basically, you know, these congressmen, they're talking about kids dying from social media, but in reality kids are dying more from gun violence, and it's just very like hypocritical because they're just not doing anything to like help with that problem, and they're just like, oh, TikTok's the problem, but it's just because they have a lot of money coming in from Facebook, and that's why they want to take TikTok down. Basically, it's very transparent, but it's like we can't do anything because they're the people in charge, and it's really frustrating. But I bring this up to talk about the pros and cons of social media. And as I said before, you know, Love Island people, they get this intense bullying. Anybody who's on a reality show gets like this intense love and intense hate. Anybody who has a big following gets intense love and intense hate. It's just the way it is. When you have a lot of people that love you, you're also going to have a lot of people that dislike you or hate you, and they're going to be mean, and you have to find a way to, well, one, you probably should get a therapist, and if you're at that level, hopefully you have enough money to be able to afford therapy, because, you know, therapy is expensive, or, you know, have some way that you can not associate the hateful comments that you get with who you are. I think that's really important for people at the top or people who have a large following on social media to do, and having a large following can really affect your mental health. I totally agree with Congress if that's what they're saying, you know, they're just like, people have died, like kids have died because of these challenges, and like I don't know if it necessarily is, if that's actually what's happening. Like, I haven't heard of anybody dying from a TikTok challenge. They probably have, and that's probably like, I don't know, misinformation about some health thing. I don't know, but I think actually the opposite is happening. I think more people are able to learn, like have access to information to actually help them get healthy, or help them learn a new skill, or help them feel like they have a community, or help them feel not alone. You know, a lot of people talk about their struggles on social media, and I know I've said in the past, like I'm not scared to be like vulnerable really online, because I'm just of the thought that like nothing matters. But yeah, a lot of people are vulnerable online about the struggles that they go through, and then if a young person sees that, they're like, oh, I don't feel alone. And then if that person says like how they cope with it, it's like, I don't know, it can be such a good community building thing. I don't think that the negatives of social media outweigh the pros, especially when it comes to TikTok, because there's a lot of good that's on that app. But personally for me, like I've said in the past, like I've been addicted to my phone, I've been addicted to TikTok. Sometimes I'll scroll for so long that I'm like, I don't even remember when I started scrolling. Like it's probably been hours. I feel like I haven't scrolled for like hours, but maybe like an hour. But I've said that that's one of my New Year's resolutions that I've actually stuck to, like spending less time on TikTok, spending less time scrolling, spending less time on social media in general, because I do think that it can get to the point of being unhealthy, but I do think that there's like a healthy way to have a good relationship with it and use it as a tool, especially like in my business, in my career, and just like connecting with friends, knowing what friends are up to, having my family from, you know, the East Coast see what I'm doing. I feel like there's so many positives in that aspect of like sharing and connecting and, you know, building up my portfolio online and stuff like that. But yeah, there is a lot of negative aspects to it because it can really affect your mental health if you care so much about like the numbers or people judging you and just what people think in general. And that's just something that everyone I think has to work through in their life, like caring what people think. I think I'm very lucky in the sense that I think I was just born that way, with like not really caring what people think about me. But I think a lot of people just have to work on it a bit more to like bust through that idea that they should be doing things for other people when it's your life and you can do whatever the fuck you want. You shouldn't be doing things just because other people want you to do them, or you shouldn't be doing things just because it's the status quo. Like, it's okay to do something different. It's okay if your life looks different than other people, and it's okay if your life looks different than the life that your parents wanted for you, or that your friends wanted for you, or that your friends have, you know. So in that way, you can find other people like you on social media that may have done something that you actually want to be doing, or that you think are more similar to you than the people who are actually surrounding you in your life. And it's just gaining new perspectives and just knowing that you're not alone. You're never alone. And there's no feeling that you have, so there's nothing that you've been doing, no struggle that somebody hasn't had before, you know. We're all connected in that way, us as human beings. But yeah, with the negatives of social media affecting your mental health, it can really affect, you know, that comparison-itis, you know, that you see somebody like, oh, you want their life, or you want their body or their skin or their makeup or their style or their job or whatever, like their lifestyle, and you can, you know, comparing yourself to others is never good. So if you find yourself like in a cycle of always comparing yourself to the people that you follow, maybe it's time to to get off social media and just like actually like live your life and not base it off of what other people are doing. And also, people are only posting their highlight reel. Like, a lot of people aren't sharing their struggles too. So if you see somebody that just has like this gorgeous life that's like picture perfect, and you're like, oh my god, I want to be them, they might be going through things that you will never know about. You know, you don't truly ever know somebody that you follow on social media. You truly never know the whole story. So comparing yourself is just, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, because that is going to affect your like self-worth, self-image, your insecurities. Another bad part about social media is that it can really feed into somebody's insecurities if they see somebody with a similar nose as them, right? And then they're feeling like, okay, yeah, like I think this person's beautiful and they have a similar nose to me. But then you see that person get a nose job, and then it's like, oh, okay, I did see my nose as unfavorable, but then I saw this person with the same nose, and now I think like, oh my god, they're beautiful, so I must be beautiful. Like I love that they're embracing their nose, and I should embrace my nose. But then you see them getting a nose job, and then you're like, oh shit, now I have to fix this part of me too, because they felt the need to fix it. And it just, you know, you can go into like a spiral in your mind trying to figure out like what needs to be fixed about you. And the truth is, you don't need to be fixed. You don't need to do X, Y, and Z to be the most perfect person in the world. You just need to be yourself. And that's something that I think is very nuanced on social media. Like, it allows you to be yourself and allows you to be creative and express yourself. But in another sense, it's like sometimes social media can tell you, and the people that you're seeing online can influence you to think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be myself. But if being yourself isn't harming others, it is totally fine. If being yourself is just doing things that aren't the status quo, like that's totally fine. I really want to encourage everyone right now. I know that it can be a little like cringe to hear me say all these, like, you know, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Don't care what others think. I know these are things that, like, you know, and that we all know, but sometimes it's just nice to like hear them. You are the best you that you can be. Like nobody else can be a better you. So you just need to focus. You just need to focus on yourself, really, especially if you find yourself constantly comparing yourself to other people on social media. So when these congressmen are talking about, people dying from TikTok challenges and all that stuff, like I think the real bad thing about social media is people comparing themselves, comparing their bodies, and thinking that they aren't worthy of love or success or a good life because they don't look the same as the people that they follow online. And I think that can be very damaging, especially for teenagers. Like I don't know what I would have done if I had Instagram and TikTok and whatever, all these social medias when I was in high school. Like I probably would have been way more insecure than I was. So I do feel bad for young teens, adolescents these days, because it's a tough world. It's this digital age that we live in. Just think about like all the beautiful things that you've seen in your life. If you've been to the Grand Canyon, or if you go to the beach and watch the sunset, or if it's pitch black dark and you can see the stars where you are in the middle of the desert, or if you go to fucking Disney World and like see the castle, it's beautiful, or whatever. Like there's so many beautiful things in this world, and it's the same with people. There's so much beauty in this world. You do not have to look the same as every beautiful person. I mean, I'm sure you can even think of like 20 different people that you think are beautiful that look nothing alike. I encourage you to like open your mind and think that way, instead of being like, oh, I'm not this specific thing. If you are struggling with that, if you're not, then good for you. I think in general, there are more positives that outweigh the negatives for social media. I think I've been trying to make that clear, even though I've been talking about like a lot of the negatives in this episode. But I do think it's a good place for community, people knowing that they're not alone in what they're going through, and just the ability to be able to express yourself creatively and create in general, like creating things, being able to post them. I'm so bad at posting my art, what I make. I'm so bad. I've been so bad at posting my photography because I've been so busy with these temp jobs, but I want to get back to it because I really need that like digital portfolio that I can just pull up and be like, yes, this is my photography when I meet someone, and not have my post be from like 4 months ago or longer. That's it for me this episode, guys. Thanks for chilling with me, and I hope you guys all have a lovely week, day, whatever day it is that you're listening to this. I will ask a question. I won't forget. The question for the end of this episode is, what is something that you have learned, or a positive thing in your life that has come from social media? For me, it's my friends. All of my friends I have met from social media in one way or another. Like Esme, I followed her, and then I met her at like this fitness convention thing, but because of my like job in social media. Anyways, my other friend Nadira, she found me through social media, and then we did a shoot together, and then became such good friends. And my friend Lexi, who visited me this past week, we met at a photography workshop, and the photographer was somebody that we both followed on social media. So many connections I have made through social media. Almost all my friends in LA I've made through social media, so it's been a really good community builder for me. Lots of good that has come from it in my life, and just like my career in general. Like people find my photography online, or photographers want to shoot with me and they find my Instagram. It's good for connecting that way, so I'm very grateful for it. And yeah, I really hope that TikTok doesn't get banned, because it's also a really good tool for creatives and just connecting with people in general. So that's my little rant about that. All right, I love you all. I'll see you next time, and have a great week.
Nothing much, just a chillin'.